The first words she ever said to me weren't hello. They were, "You don't belong here." I had just pulled into the driveway of my newly purchased lake ranch cabin, a place I saved for, dreamed of, and finally made mine after years of hard work. I hadn't even finished unloading my boxes when a woman, clipboard in hand, judgment in her eyes, marched up and asked if I was the new caretaker. When I told her I was the new owner, her face twisted like she'd tasted vinegar. "Oh," she said, "we weren't expecting someone like you." I didn't fully understand what she meant until 10 minutes later, two sheriff cars pulled up. She had called 911 to report a suspicious individual trespassing on vacant property. The officers asked for ID, proof of ownership, even my closing documents. I calmly handed everything over, and within 5 minutes they apologized and left, but not before shaking their heads at Karen's behavior. I tried to move on, hoping it was a one-time thing. But that was just the beginning. Over the next week, I got 5 warning letters taped to my door, violations for things like unpermitted parking, non-compliant welcome mat, and even unauthorized wind chimes. The HOA president? Karen, of course. But here's where things get interesting. My cabin sits on land technically outside of the HOA's legal jurisdiction. Their boundary line ends 3 plots down. I confirmed it with the county assessor and property maps. But Karen had been quietly pushing the HOA's guidelines onto neighboring properties for years, bullying new owners into thinking they had to comply. So, I did something no one else thought to do. I exposed her. I filed a formal complaint with the State Housing Board, sent a notarized letter to the HOA demanding they cease unauthorized oversight, and then posted a massive wooden sign at the edge of my property line. Private property not under HOA jurisdiction. False claims will be prosecuted. The best part? The story caught local attention. A nearby journalist did a feature on overreaching HOAs, and Karen's photo ended up on the cover, mid-rant, pointing at my cabin like she was casting a curse. A month later, the Real HOA board voted to suspend her indefinitely pending investigation, and several other neighbors followed my lead, removing HOA notices from their mailboxes and reclaiming their freedom. Karen thought she could bully me into leaving, but now she barely steps outside. If you've ever been told you don't belong somewhere, remember the deed says otherwise. For more real stories where justice checks petty power, hit that follow. This is the HOA Stories.